Hello, Steve Mills here. It's great to be back on my results podcast, and I'm really looking forward to this session. I've once again got a guest on the session, and it's great to welcome Jeremy Stock here. He's the director at Run Print Run. Welcome to the conversation, Jeremy, and it's great to have you here.
Hi, Steve. Really, really good to be here. Can't wait for
Thank
the
you.
results.
Thank you. So just to kick off, tell everybody a little bit about you and Run Print Run and what you do, just to give us an overview, please.
Okay, my background personally, as so many people who have got their own business, has been in sales. But in 1982, we got involved in printing. And printing then was literally litho printing with inks and so on. And as it moved on, and this is the difference between us and many of the others, it moved on from litho printing to digital printing,
Yeah.
digital printing to online, online to also promotional product goods. So anything to do with sales, marketing, promotion is what we do. It's taken us a long time to get to where we are now, but we've had every single year since 1982 as being successful and profitable.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Now, I'm sure you know everybody listening's aware of how changes in marketing have been. I've been doing this like you for quite some time now, and the difference between marketing now and marketing 25 years ago when I started was absolutely huge. And from what you've just said, I'm sure it's the same in terms of the print industry.
Very, very much so. And people would say, oh, yeah, but there's no buts. It's exactly the same whether you're building houses, driving cars, going on holiday, everything changes. And
Yeah,
as it
yeah, yeah.
changes, it doesn't make it more difficult. It just
No,
means we have to learn to adapt and change.
yeah.
And from my point of view, I'm glad it does change because had it stayed the same as it always had done, there'd be millions of people vying for the same business.
Yeah, sure. I know you were saying, and I was talking to David this morning about, things that have changed in your business. And obviously this year with the tough times that we've all been going through, things like exhibitions pretty much haven't happened. And so I know that you've had to adapt your business, and you've gone into the sort of face mask market, and be that a plain one or branded, and that's great to see how you've just gone, right, okay, well, this is not happening, so we're going to have to change and do something slightly different. And it's so important for a business. There's a wonderful pub in Portsmouth where I live who've said, right, okay, the pub's closed, so we're going to open up selling fresh vegetables. They actually said outside of the pub, they've got these stands selling fresh veg.
That,
That's brilliant, isn't it?
that is phenomenal because all of us in business, we have to learn to adapt. And
Yeah, yeah,
yes, as our company has done, we've adapted in a few ways, like the exhibition companies. Some of them are trying to do things online. So we've
yeah,
suggested to some of them, can we do some promotional branded items to send to the people who have signed up?
yeah.
Also, the PPE, I don't feel 100% comfortable selling PPE because it's something that I wouldn't ever really wanted to sell.
Okay.
So
No.
we made a decision early on. We're going to be very, very careful with our pricing, not rip people off, make
Yeah,
sure we
yeah.
supply it fairly, and hopefully we retain those clients later on.
Yeah. So rather than go in and think, right, make a quick killing here out of
Yeah.
everybody's misery, you just
Yeah.
be somebody who provided it at a reasonable price and not done that, not rip people off. So
Yeah.
good for you on that. So I was telling you when we spoke the other day that I a little while ago I got a letter in the post, and when I opened it up, inside was a card from Google, and they were offering me an incentive, shall we say, to do some paid advertising. But my point, and really stuck in my mind, was that Google, one of the world's leading technology, online digital marketing companies, are sending out pieces of card in envelopes. And that was really what I wanted to talk to you today about the, not necessarily that there'll be a big revolt and everything's going to go back to paper-based, but how important it is to, to utilize digital marketing, definitely, like, you're doing and we do, but also to think about what businesses are going to do in terms of the, let's just call it the offline marketing, whether that's sending, promotional gifts out, postcards, leaflets, brochures, and all that sort of thing. So what are your thoughts as to, how important that is and what people should be doing?
Okay, you would expect me to say, of course, oh yeah, let's
sure,
cut down a tree and print them.
Yeah. Go and spend loads of money on brochures. Yeah.
but there's room in this space for everything.
Yes.
Like as you were just saying about Google, take Amazon for instance. Amazon are the second, not the first largest. They're now the second largest company in the world. Second largest company in the world. They do all their marketing and promotions online, yet they're supplying a physical product, which is really quite funny. Now, in a lot of Amazons, they're starting to put things in the boxes as well, and make sure you've got their adverts. And as I said to you the other day as well, I want to book a holiday to Antigua or whatever for the family. I don't want the agent to turn around and say, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a film, don't bother going. You want to actually go and experience it and smell it and feel it. And although, again, you'd expect me to say these sort of things, they do work and they work really well. And how do we know that? We know that by the amount of our clients that keep coming back for more and more. You've got it on the button insofar as exhibitions and things and seminars. Those are ideal times to give things away. But specifically now, sending out packs as we are doing for some clients, they're not just PPE packs, where we're sending quite a few packs on behalf of clients with face masks and sanitizer gel with their name emblazoned everywhere. They're now moving on. Now here we are in January, and they're thinking, right, people will come back from their breaks soon, from their furlough soon, from when it comes along, which will be in hopefully 6 weeks' time, people will start coming back to work. And we can give them a present of a box, all branded with the client's branding, and inside lots of different giveaways, from sweeties to face masks to bath gels. Those are things that really work and stick in people's mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait.
I was talking to a guy the other day, a guy called Angus, who's pretty much a LinkedIn expert, a little bit like, I sometimes considered a LinkedIn expert myself. And although I hate the term expert, somebody once told me X means you're a has-been and a spurt is a drip under pressure. So I try not to be one of those. But, he's got a considerable reputation and knowledge of LinkedIn. And he was saying that I said, so what's your number one strategy for winning business on LinkedIn? And he said, well, without a doubt, my number one thing that I do is I send them a postcard. So on the front is like a picture of a jigsaw with like LinkedIn being the missing part. And on the back is saying, if LinkedIn's the missing part of your marketing, click here, or I'm not sure it can't be click here because it's on paper. Fill your details in here and return this card and we can book a meeting. And he reckoned that he gets a 70% return on that particular postcard that he sends out. Sends them out to new people. When he connects to a new person on LinkedIn, he sends them the postcard and 7 out of 10 respond. Now that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Well, you know what I'll be doing tomorrow morning.
I know, yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm actually setting this up. I thought to myself, I cannot be told that and not do it. And I think I told you a little while ago, we're going to come to you and get the printing done.
Yeah.
Just got to get the words sorted to start with.
I must say, though, that there is a place for all these things. We've discovered that we can't go out to restaurants at the moment. So we're making food at home. And maybe we're getting some takeaway or whatever. There's room for everything. When it gets back to normal again, everything has its place. The wonderful thing about physical marketing, unlike digital marketing, is that digital marketing works really, really quickly, and you can get a message over to hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah. Physical marketing means that you get something in front of somebody and it stays with them. unless they
Yes.
want to throw it away. They can't
Yeah.
click and get rid of it. So
Yeah.
you give
Yeah. Yeah.
something to somebody that looks and feels and smells and works well.
Yeah.
We're very careful how we advise
Yeah.
people on what to
Yeah.
use. But when
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does work, it really works well.
Yeah, yeah. And it works well when the two are combined. You know, he's using LinkedIn,
Yeah.
very modern technology website, and yet he's sending people, you know, letters or I mean, he's using postcards, but sending people offline marketing in order to win business. So you know, I really love that. I think it's great that you know that works. One of the things that I've always endorsed and said in my career is that if you're going to be good at marketing, you've got to be good at producing marketing that is outstanding by standing out. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be the best of anything, but it really just means you need to be bloody different, you know,
Yeah.
do something that nobody else is doing. And again, you know, I'm sure you're the same. I get something like 100 to 200 emails a day. How many letters or leaflets or marketing information, how much of that do I get these days? When I started 25 years ago, I did the thing, you know, open the mail over the bin, you know, and I'll throw that in. No, that's don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. Now it's almost like, oh wow, somebody loves me. They've sent me something. I get all excited, you know. And I don't have that effect when somebody sends me an email. So again, there's definitely you know, a thought for everybody watching, that if you do something you know, in terms of leaflets, brochures, souvenirs, promotions, and so on, that makes you be different to somebody else. As Jeremy said, you know, not only is it good because it, you know, that creates maybe that wow effect, but people do often keep it, you know. And
Well, I must say, if you remember when emails first came out, you would get an email and it would be one of maybe 10 that day. And you'd
yeah,
read carefully and go, oh, wow, look, I've got an email. Let
yeah,
me
yeah,
share it
yeah,
with everybody.
yeah,
And of course, as time goes on, emails become, well, not superfluous, but we work out within a few seconds whether it's worth reading or not. And it
yeah,
goes to one side because
yeah,
we're now much more adept at working out what's worth it for us and what isn't. Same
yeah,
goes with physical marketing. You can't just send out a pen to somebody and say, there you go. You have to tell a story about it. You've got to make it a bit different. You've got to make somebody laugh or cry or think something special of
uh-huh.
you.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah.
long as you plan like you have to with email marketing now, if you plan with physical marketing, it can work really well for you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just give one example of a client of mine that I know that did this and did it remarkably well. Perhaps you can, just to give you a little bit of notice, Jeremy, just think of a couple of examples of clients that you've worked with that have done something. Perhaps you've, you know, advised them to do something and it's worked really well for them. But my one was a client of mine called the Cost Reduction Company. Guy called Nigel, and what they do is they go into schools and they tell them how to reduce the costs of heating and all that sort of stuff, and they work out a percentage, so it doesn't cost them anything, but if they save them 200 grand, then they get a percentage of that in terms of savings. So that's how they make a living. Nigel came to me and he said, I've had an idea to do a promotion. He said, I'm going to write a letter and I'm going to enclose, he chose a Kit Kat. So it's going to be a Kit Kat letter. And the idea is I send them a letter and at the end of it, I say, you know, make yourself a cup of tea, enjoy your Kit Kat, and, you know, I'll be calling you up in a few days. And me being the expert in marketing, I said, do you know what, Nigel, I just don't think, you know, I don't think it's going to work. You know, I can't see it working. And his plan was to send 1,000 of these letters out in one go. Buying 1,000 Kit Kats and the letters and the stamps and the envelopes and all the effort that takes. So I said to him, don't do that. Let's just test it. Let's do 10 today, 10 tomorrow, 10 the day after. First day, he sent 10 out. He followed them up, whatever it was, 3 or 4 days later, got 3 meetings. So my advice was wonderful.
Well, it's funny. No matter how much of an expert you are, the way you think something might work will often be way out, because
You know,
down
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
every road, there's always roads coming off it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story, which has got
Yeah,
nothing to do
please.
with my business or marketing, but
Okay.
my cousin, who's now 50 something years old, he was in the city earning a lot of money as a trader. And he phoned
Right.
me up one morning and he said, Jeremy, I've decided to give this up and become an actor. I said, you're joking.
Oh, wow.
I said, you're
Okay.
mad, because an actor, a bit like a footballer, is no matter how
Yeah.
much you love it, maybe 1 in 1,000 can actually do very well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And he said, no, I'm definitely going to do it. I said, don't do it. Stick it out for another couple of years, do your trading, and then become an actor and muck around a bit. I'll think about it. A week later, he phoned me up, said, I've jacked in the job. I'm becoming an actor. I said, Nigel, you won't make it. You just won't make it. Here we are now, 10 years on or 15 years on. He's done extremely well. He's been on Broadway. He's been in the city. He's been in the major films, and he's earning an awful lot of money. So like you, I can't always be right either.
No. It's no such thing as anybody that can. I don't think. I think one of the keys to marketing success, and I know we've spoke about this, is the measurement of it. And the three most important words in marketing are testing, testing, and testing. You know, you can try stuff, and as long as you're not betting the ranch, then you know, when it works, you can just crank it up, just do more of it. I had a client call me the other day and said they're spending $2,000 a month on Facebook advertising. I said, what results are you getting? He said, well, we're winning about £18,000 every time we spend $2,000. What do you think we should do? I said, I'd spend $4,000 if I was you, and then $8,000, and then $16,000. You know, it's like the plain bloody obvious idea, but he went, oh yeah, I think you think we should up our budget? I said, well, I would. Why wouldn't you want to you know, put 4,000 quid into this machine called Facebook and get 36 grand out? You know, so yeah.
I would have advised him to give me some shares in the business.
Yeah, I think I should have done. Yeah, I should have charged him a lot of money for that amazing advice, don't you think?
I have got one example of something a bit different that worked very well.
Okay,
and that is,
that'd be good.
One of our clients is Eurotunnel. Lovely people, great to deal with. But of course, like any big successful company, they're always very careful how they buy. Yeah. And one of the marketing team said to me, we need something for the kids when they go in the cars and they've got themselves an hour of boredom in the back of the car. Yeah. And we've done quite a few items for them, but we weren't quite sure whether we should suggest or whether they're going to suggest. And I said to them, how about we make a puzzle of some sort of one of your Eurostar trains, Eurotunnel trains? Okay. They said, what sort? I said, well, if it's a simple, straightforward puzzle, it's basically 2-dimensional. Why don't we make a 3-dimensional one where we can have it printed, die cut out, and they can cut and fold it and make it into a proper train? Yeah. And they weren't quite sure. And they said, okay, well, look, let's try. We'll try for 500. And I said, look, with all due respect, the difference between 500 and 1,000 is that much. I'm not trying to sell up. I'm trying to make it look far better value for money. So they ordered 1,000. So we painstakingly designed it, designed the cutter, worked out how it's going to fit and pack, and we delivered it into them. And 2 weeks later, they ordered another 9,500 of them. Wow! Because we were lucky enough for it to work. Yeah. I nor you could have been 100% sure, but we just thought it was a great little item. Yeah. And you can buy one off me if you want. I like the sound of it. I'm not sure I'll buy 1,000 of them, but out of all the stuff that you do, what's trending right now? What are people buying? What do you think? Going. If people are watching this and thinking, I like the idea of doing something. I know it varies per industry and business and budgets and all that, but what are your thoughts around, what seems to work? Okay, well, right now, we're still in COVID, of course. So yeah, sure. As of right now, I think people are still thinking of things like washable masks, things that will still last. Yeah. We're trying to encourage people, and it is working very well, that we want people to know that hopefully 6, 8, 10 weeks time, we'll all start coming back to work, and people will be madly thinking of how they will get their company in front of other companies,
Yes.
whether it be digital or whether it be phone calls or
Yeah.
whatever. So we're saying to people that anything you have manufactured, we know you want it to be inexpensive, especially at the moment. It's got to be inexpensive because people haven't got endless pockets, but it's got to be useful, it's got to be retentive, and it's got to be something a bit different.
Yeah.
So anything eco-friendly is big news at the moment.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're encouraging our clients as well by saying to them, we are making less money, our margins are smaller on eco-friendly items, but we're happy to do that because we want to encourage you to use eco-friendly.
Okay. Yeah.
I hate the idea of supplying plastic this and plastic that, knowing that it's going to be in some turtle's nose or something.
Yeah.
So we're very careful.
Exactly.
So anything to do with eco-friendly, anything to do with branding long-term, the things that are selling quite well at the moment are things like kits made up for picnics.
Right.
Which
Okay.
will be something that people do.
Yeah.
Eco-friendly items of wood, cotton, and so on.
Yeah.
All sorts of bags, especially
Okay.
made out of cotton, canvas, hessian.
Yeah. Again, eco-friendly. Yeah.
Eco-friendly. And notebooks and things. I mean, we're even doing some notebooks now that have got bamboo covers. Anything that's eco-friendly and anything that can be well branded and retained. Well branded being, of course, pens. Pens are something that we all use, but they run out of ink. We encourage people to have something like a cotton bag, an inexpensive cotton bag that we know people will sling in the car and then use it for their shopping. But each time they bring it out, it's got their logo on.
Yeah.
So
And
those
so
are
a lot of other people see it as well. So it's good for brand recognition, isn't it? As well. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know about you. Well, I think I do know about you. I think you definitely agree with this. I think that we are in tough times right now. We know it. I'm sure everybody's thinking, oh well, 2021 is going to be round the corner. A few weeks ago, and it's going to be a new year, and it's all going to be great, and we're going to, all of a sudden take off, and then they lock us down. So that put a bit of a damper on the new year. But I do think some things are really good right now, and one of them is that pretty soon. Hopefully, it's not 1,000%, but hopefully, this lockdown's going to be over. I really don't think it's going to happen again. I think having the vaccination is going to prevent that from happening again. So yeah, I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and what that's going to create when we're in something like 3 to 6 months. All these businesses are going to kick back into operation. They're going to operate on full steam ahead sort of thing. And they're all going to be thinking, or a lot of them are going to be thinking, oh no, we've not been doing any marketing. We've got no customers. I own a restaurant and I've started back and I've just, opened up the first night and the place is half empty because nobody's coming here yet. And so there's going to be this, I think, a real big wave of effort that goes out for, there's 3 million businesses in the UK, and they're going to be putting a lot of effort in to marketing in April, May, June, and going forward. And I think it's, really important that they, start thinking now about preparing for that, whether that's getting promotional goods or doing some offline marketing, getting the online marketing in place. In fact, all those things I think is really important.
Well, if I could say, firstly, regarding business, you and I are probably old enough to have gone through 3 recessions. And each of those 3 recessions, I'm glad to say, from my point of view, we didn't suffer too badly because we cut our cloth accordingly and so on. But after the first recession, I realized that after a recession, things get busy very quickly. And the reason why that happens is it has a rollerball effect.
Yes.
Joe down the road has got a company similar to mine and he's just got some new posters or whatever. I better do the same. So that's number one. We will get busy. Come March and April, we're going to be inundated. We have to be very careful, though, to supply good quality value product because that will come back and hit us in the face if it's not.
Sure. Yeah.
And one other thing I should say to you as well is that after the Second World War, as you remember, the two countries, the two countries that survived and thrived more than any other is Japan and Germany.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
They came second. We won, and yet here they are doing so well. And the reason being is they rebuilt, got themselves back on their feet, were proud enough to work really, really hard, and they're just basically another company. So any companies out there that have got enough money to pay their staff just and to just get by, as long as they have enough time to plan their marketing, and I mean online as well as physical exhibitions and so on, they'll be fine. It's the companies that do nothing, stick their finger up their nose and wait for the phone to ring that won't.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and the good thing, if there is a good thing about the situation we're in now, the good thing from a business point of view is that because lots of businesses are quiet and some are actually closed, now is a great time to do some thinking about the business and what I'm going to do and what I'm going to try to achieve, to do some planning for the way forward and what we're going to achieve over this year, and perhaps even some training to help you to become better. Because one way of becoming a better business is to become better yourself and learn new skills that perhaps you haven't got. And I think we have to, in a way, seize the opportunity that is now, and get ourselves all geared up for this new sort of push forward.
We're going to be inundated in a few weeks' time.
I think so. Yeah.
I won't be able to phone you and I'll get through to your third assistant.
Second in command. Yes. Yeah. So we're sort of coming towards the end of the meeting or the interview today, Jeremy. Thank you ever so much for your time. If people want to get hold of you and they want some promotional merchandise, some help with printing and so on, what's the best thing for them to do?
Well, firstly, very simply, the name of the company is Run Print Run. So it's www.runprintrun.co.uk. By all means, go onto the website, find out who we are, do have a chat with us, because I'm a great believer in people buy from people, and that although you can get a pen, a USB or a baseball cap printed anywhere and supplied by anybody, we'll try and advise you the right way to do it and the right quantity to buy. And do have a look at the website. Our website, like everybody else's website, is always being modernized. There's always work being done to it. But the bare essentials are there, and those bare essentials should show what we're like. We're fun to work with. We're all a bunch of workaholics. Yes, we want to make money out of you, but I want you to be able to make money out of your clients, and it goes on down the line. There's just one poor person in the very, very end of the line that's paying for it all, but that's not you or me. So I just need a phone call or an email or look at our website, and I'll do everything I can to try and impress you and make things work for you.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll finish for now then. Thank you ever so much, Jeremy, for being here. Thanks for your time. Thanks everybody for listening on my podcast or watching on YouTube. If anybody wants to know anything further from me, go to steve-mills.com. There you can book a free, no obligation meeting so we can have a conversation about your business and how we might be able to help you. So other than that, thanks ever so much, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you.